Have you ever had somebody come up to you after you spoke and they tried to wipe something off your jacket and then they realized it was a custom buttonhole? I know, that happened to me, and that was embarrassing because I had a custom jacket made for my speaking. Oh man, somebody was annoyed the entire speech by this little thing on my jacket. And so the question today is, what to wear when public speaking? We're going to give you some tips and tricks as to what you should wear and why I'm so upset that so many people dress down. Let's jump in. So today I'm going to give you some tips on what to wear on stage when speaking. Because candidly, I think a lot of people are dressing way too down these days. And so I'm going to give you some tips. Excited for you to jump in. You ready? Here we go. Let's talk about the fact that every time you see someone on stage, that is a place of authority. That is a privilege, that platform. It's such a wonderful opportunity. Why would you not dress up and feel like this is a great chance to influence people? There's a psychology to dressing well. And I truly believe that when we do dress just a little bit better than the audience, that shows respect for them, as well as that you're taking serious your subject, but also yourself. Think about it this way. Anytime somebody comes out onto stage, whether they say anything or not, you're looking them up and down and you're making a judgment real fast. If they walk out on stage and they're dressed down so much, you might wonder, I wonder if they forgot they were speaking today, or maybe they don't have their clothes they meant to have. Maybe they lost them on an airplane. I know I've had that thought while I've watched a speaker come out on stage in a messy t-shirt or a hoodie or some other way. Now, there are certain people that can get away with this. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But it's a sign of respect as well as a first impression, and you only get one chance to make a first impression. So when you come out on stage, dress the part. Obviously today, as I'm filming this video for you, I'm not dressed up like I would on stage because I want this to just be a casual conversation between you and I. But you understand what I'm saying. If you go and look at some of my website, you'll see that I never am on stage without a jacket and a collar and looking my best. If it's more of a show, then I might wear a black t-shirt with a leather jacket. I mean, I'm going for it because I want them to understand that first impressions, I understand, matter, as well as looking the part whenever we can. So for men, it's generally a suit or a jacket with a dress shirt. For women, it could be a pantsuit or a lovely dress. It's up to you as to how you want to put this all together, but I know a lot of people spend a lot of money to make it work. You don't have to spend a ton of money, but just have to be thoughtful about what works for you. Having even gotten cheap clothes myself and then have it tailored to my body, that makes a really good impression. There's also a confidence that comes about when we actually put on some nice clothes. And I believe that there is a confidence boost for ourselves when we come out on stage and we know we look the part. There was a guy years ago that you've probably heard of, Steve Jobs. I believe Steve Jobs is the one that bucked the trend for everybody, but this was a part of his persona, and so it worked. Do you remember his outfit? Yeah, Steve Jobs of Apple. He used to come out on stage with a black turtleneck. He would have white sneakers and jeans. It was the first time anybody showed up at that level of success without a suit on that I can recall that was actually accepted for doing that. Why? Because it became a part of his outfit. It was a part of his signature move. So if that's something that's going to be a part of what you do and create for yourself, if that gives you confidence, then go for it. But I think it's very rare for somebody to find that balance without dressing up. And so Steve Jobs is the exception. Maybe you are too. Understanding your audience is key. And there's something I've been noticing lately. In the news, there's a man named Vladimir Zelensky. He's the president of Ukraine. As they're in the midst of a war at the time of this recording, it's a challenging time for their country. What I admire about Zelensky is that he knows his audience. For years, he used to wear a suit and tie, but now his country is in trouble. They're having struggles and they're being bombed, right? So what does he do? This is savvy. He wears a green shirt, no tie, no collar. He just wears a t-shirt, so he looks like the people. It's not sloppy, but it's something that everybody thinks, oh gosh, he's with us. He understands where we're coming from. I believe that if he wore a suit and tie, he might look too formal in this case. And so he knows his audience. I appreciate that he's put this example together. And he shows up even now, which I think is a little much, at things like United Nations meetings just in the green shirt. So in certain settings, he may need to shift that around a bit, but it's working for him, so he keeps on doing it. So consider for yourself your venue. Consider yourself the audience that you're about to speak to. I know that if I'm speaking in a really formal place, I'm going to dress even more formal. But if it's a less formal setting, then it's okay to dress down. For example, if I'm in a beautiful hotel in a ballroom, I'm going to dress in a nice suit. If I'm at a gymnasium for a bunch of third graders in school, then probably a t-shirt or a collared shirt is okay. Let's talk about some key components for dressing well. One of my dear friends, her name is Sylvie DeGusto. She is somebody who dresses to the nines every time I've ever seen her, and that's because she dresses in custom clothing or clothing she buys that is very nice. And so if you go check out Sylvie DeGusto, you'll be inspired because this is a person who cares a lot how she looks and comes across. But it's a sign of respect for her audience. She wears what we call the power of a suit. It's incredible, it's tailor-made, it's beautiful, but it also has powerful colors. The colors can be a part of your branding, and so she utilizes that, as do other great speakers around the world. We can also talk about smart casual mastery. For example, you could wear something that's pretty smart looking but casual at the same time, so maybe it's the jacket and the collar, but with some nice jeans. Also, your footwear can really make a difference. Have you ever noticed somebody get on stage lately? They usually have sneakers with the real big white brim around the bottom. Yeah. Have you ever noticed if they were scuffed? I know. And so whether you have one of those Mr. Clean brushes or something, they call it a magic eraser, and I carry one everywhere I go. Or some speakers actually buy a new pair of shoes for every single speaking engagement. This isn't surprising because athletes also get a new pair of shoes for every single game that they play. And so it just depends on your level of commitment to the footwear. But for women, some choose to wear high heels. Just be sure that you're able to move around in them and be comfortable enough. And for men, I recommend a nice shoe that either could be a boot that's custom made or is really nice looking, or a great sneaker that's extra, extra clean. And then also think about your accessories. For women wearing earrings, if it's dangling and it's shining in the lights, that could be a reflection, a distraction to your audience. Think also about where the microphone might sit. If you have a microphone that's pinned onto your clothes and you have a big necklace that's hitting it, that could be a problem. And so think about your accessories far in advance before the speech. And then there are the speakers that you don't expect to see on stage without their accessory. Like I said, Steve Jobs, black turtleneck, that was his signature move, his look. One of my friends, Patricia Fripp, one of the great speaker coaches in the world and best speakers you'll ever hear on stage. She never says a word incorrectly. She's just so particular. Patricia Fripp used to show up with a hat, a different hat at every single event, so everyone knew her for her hats. Just like me, you won't see me on stage very likely ever without a jacket, a suit coat, something that's extra nice and even custom. And so it's up to you as to what kind of signature piece and accessory you want to add to your wardrobe. So I'd like to challenge you to consider for yourself what is going to be the look that you're going to be on stage. So put it in the comments if you will. I'd love to see what you choose as your accessories, as well as the way that you dress. Do you like to dress down? If so, tell us why. Do you like to dress up? Tell us what you wear. I know for me, if I wear my boots, I'm wearing Taft boots. Oh yeah, Taft. They're made in Italy. They're beautiful. And everybody looks at your shoes when you're on stage. If I don't wear my Taft shoes, then I'm wearing some very clean Vans, and I love those. When it comes to the accessories that you choose, put it in the comments. I'd love to see what you decide to wear. Finally, let's talk about dress rehearsal. Practice and work on how you're going to wear your clothing. I know that may sound odd, like, oh, I'll just throw something on and go to the gig. No, make sure that it looks right before you go. Oh, this has happened to me way too many times, and that's why I'm hoping that you'll listen, because I've purchased an outfit and then I showed up and it didn't work out. One time I purchased a pair of blue suede shoes in a lobby at a casino because I thought, oh, my shoes don't look right. I was about to be in front of 10,000 people in an arena, so I thought I need really snazzy shoes. So I went to the lobby, found some cool blue suede shoes for way too much money. I put them on, I looked at them in the mirror, I went, ooh yeah, I look good, they're gonna love these. And then I took them off, went back to my room, went to bed the next morning, got up, put those shoes on and walked to the venue. For those of you that can anticipate what's about to happen, you know. My blisters were so bad, the heels rubbed right off of my feet. The back of my Achilles in the skin. It was horrible. I'm laughing because I felt like, why did I do this? Why didn't I try out those shoes a long time prior? Don't do something silly like that. I should have at least carried the shoes to the venue. It was about a half a mile walk just to get there. And then I got on stage and I was in serious pain. That's not the only mistake I've made. Put your clothes on first, look in the mirror, see how they fit, make sure you can move, make sure the microphone will sit in the right spot. All of these things matter. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't think about it. You might put that outfit on at the store and say, ooh, this looked great on stage. But oh, you got to make sure when you get there that maybe there's not something shiny or something distracting. Remember that example I used at the beginning of the video? That was a custom-made $1,500 jacket with a little buttonhole right here that looked like there was a piece of lint that bugged everyone in the audience. I eventually had to stop wearing that jacket just because so many people were distracted by that little piece of custom material on my jacket. What a shame. The other thing you want to consider, your outfits in terms of colors. It's good to ask the venue or the event planner, by any chance, can you tell me what the backdrop's going to look like? Just even with this very room where I'm recording right now, I asked our producer what would be the right colors to wear in front of the fireplace. I'm thankful that she gave me some good suggestions. But if I show up at an event and it's all black behind me, which happens a lot, big black drapes. What if you wore an all black outfit? Guess what happens? You're a floating head. It's the weirdest looking thing in the world on the big screen. So think about those things before you choose your outfit. Thanks for watching this video, and here's your takeaway that I would ask for you to do if you would. Please tag a friend and share this video with them if you admire the way that they show up on stage. If you like how they dress, send them this video. They'll be thrilled that you think that they look the part whenever they take the stage. And that'll be a great way for them to see that they're doing their best, and I wish you doing yours as well.